Hello everyone, welcome back to another week of college football, this time talking about just the Texas Georgia game because luckily it was the Cowboys bye week, so I didn't have to suffer. But yeah, Texas Georgia, that was I talk a lot about how I'm so glad that I don't have to watch the Cowboys be bad this week. And then the Texas Longhorns decided, you know what? Let's not win this week. So yeah, not a very good game from the Longhorns here. They lost like 30-15. It was not a pretty game at all. And just man, so I've been complaining a lot about the Longhorns being very slow in the first quarter, and this game is just that taken to the extreme. They were doing nothing on offense for the first, not even just the first quarter, the first half that weren't doing anything on offense. Like, the defense was doing all right, but, you know, getting turnovers, kind of stuffing the Georgia offense on times. But the offense, once they got the ball, was doing nothing with it. Absolutely nothing with it. And, like, eventually the cracks started to form, and, like, you know, the defense couldn't stop Georgia every time. It's Georgia. So, obviously, they did eventually start scoring some points, and by the time it was the second half, it was like, what, 23-something, nothing? Like, maybe 23-3 or something like that. It was not pretty. That was not a pretty first half. And it got so bad that they had to pull Quinn and put in Arch for, like, a decent chunk of the second quarter. And, like, Arch wasn't doing that much better. It was still pretty bad. And just, it was a total mess on offense. Now, during the third quarter, Ewers came back in, and I guess it was because he got pissed off that he got benched for Arch. But then he actually started playing good, you know? Like, we were marching down the field, and eventually we did get that touchdown. That was very good touchdown by us. And then we got Georgia got the ball again, and, like, they were kind of going down the field, and then we get the interception. And we're in great territory. We can do this. And then it gets called back on a defensive PI, which is stupid. It was so clearly not defensive PI. They were both, like, jostling each other. That was not defense. That was so stupid. That was a terrible call. And then the student section decided, let's throw trash on the field. And just, dude, come on. Longhorns fans, you're better than that. Don't do that crap. That's terrible. That's just, no, not all right. Man, that was a bit embarrassing. That was very embarrassing. And then they overturned the PI, which, what? I've never seen that happen before. I've never seen a ref crew call back a defensive PI, because, like, pass interference is like one. Like, I assumed it was one of those plays where it's unreviewable. You know, like, you can't overturn that call, especially that late into the, like, play of the game, where, like, Georgia was ready and set and stuff, but then, you know, the fans threw the crap on the field. So, do we say mob influence? It probably is mob influence, and which is, I mean, I'm glad that the right decision of, like, the call being overturned was made. I'm just not happy about how it happened, and because of the Longhorn students being really stupid idiots throwing stuff on the field. But, you know, we got the interception, and we converted it into a touchdown. So now it was like 15-23, something like that. And so all the defense had to do was, like, keep us in the game, not let Georgia score another touchdown. But the problem is they were so tired for the first half trying to carry that they ended up not being able to do that, and Georgia scored a touchdown. And by that point, it felt like the Longhorns had given up. Like, they weren't getting anything done on either side of the ball. Just, it felt garbage timey for the rest of the game at that point, and which really upsetting to me, because I want the team to play with more soul when it's tough like that. I want them to, like, still push hard even when it looks bad, because just that's what good teams do. They keep pushing through. It really sucks that we kind of gave up midway through the game, and I don't like that, and it's disappointing. But yeah, Longhorns end up losing that 30-15, and just not a very pretty game, not a good game, and we're now kind of in a little more precarious position because it's less likely that we'll end up in the SEC championship game, and therefore less likely to have an opportunity to get a first round bye in the playoffs. I don't depend, because, like, our schedule is looking okay, So I don't think it's going to be too crazy that we still end up in the playoffs. But now there's not really a whole lot of room for error here. And upcoming, I'm really scared because next week we're playing Vandy. And at the start of the year, I wouldn't have told you that Vandy was a scary team. But oh my God, Vandy's a scary team right now. They're a team that's on the up and up. They're winning their games. Vandy's gonna go to a bowl game. Vandy is absolutely gonna bowl. They have all the capability of going to a bowl game. They got that massive upset against ranked 1 Alabama. They got a decent win over Kentucky. They almost beat Mizzou. And just, we have to not look past Vanderbilt. And hopefully, I believe that Stark won't let this team look past Vanderbilt. I think this team won't let themselves look past Vanderbilt because they know what Vanderbilt's capable of. They know that Vanderbilt is a team that can upset you and can play with a lot, and they play with a lot of heart, and they're not, you can't look past them. So hopefully that they're dialed into that Vandy game so that they won't have to worry about it and just go get the job done, win the game. But yeah, that's gonna be a really important one because that's the kind of game where we're gonna have to ask the questions, where we can answer the questions of hey, was it just that we're a good team that had a bad game, or are we actual capital F frauds, And so, yeah, just gotta put the Georgia game, put this bad Georgia game behind us, and look forward to Vandy, look forward to the rest of our schedule. Gotta keep pushing forward to get to the championship game and hopefully into the playoffs. So yeah, and that's the Longhorns. So I guess we'll move on to the rest of college football. So the first game I watched was Nebraska, Indiana, and oh boy, that was very bad for Nebraska. That was crushing. It was 50-something, and it was just not pretty. That was a rough game. So Indiana, really good team, definitely deserves that ranking of theirs. Nebraska, you can find that one more win for the bowl game, right? You can, your schedule is one of the schedules. Certainly you can find the game the game you need to win to get the bowl. So yeah, not looking good for the Huskers. Next game, what I watched was Notre Dame, Georgia Tech. Oh God, Notre Dame was losing first quarter. Here we go again. Here we go with Notre Dame doing Notre Dame things, losing teams that they should be winning against, being always underachieving, never being able to do anything. And oh wait, Notre Dame's now winning by a lot. Yeah, so Notre Dame won that game pretty handily by the end of it. And yeah, it's still ranked, but I don't think they're gonna win against Navy. I think that's one of those games where they underperform and they choke it away and they lose to a team that they shouldn't and just completely screw over their season. So yeah, Navy, if Navy doesn't do it, Army is gonna do it, because Notre Dame, it's Notre Dame. They're always gonna underachieve. They're always gonna screw things up. And also, so yeah, and I guess the other thing I want to put aside is it's the 100-year anniversary of the Four Horsemen game, so that's cool. Next game I watched, Alabama, Tennessee. Yep, Alabama are frauds. That was not pretty. That was hard. I mean, they kept it close at the very least, but Tennessee just outdueled them in the end, and it was another volunteer win. Yeah, Alabama's really missing Saban right now. Saban would never. If he's gonna lose to Tennessee, it's gonna be on a whirly bird, sort of ugly punt. That's like a miracle, It's just Alabama's kind of lost at this point. And granted, maybe it's just DeBoer trying to get this team transitioning to his system and the like. But for Alabama, you expect more, which I guess that's the price you pay for being good. But yeah, not a good game for Alabama. Obviously, Tennessee's really excited. The Tennessee teams are now 2-0 against Alabama, and I am terrified of Vanderbilt still. But yeah, that was pretty much most of what I watched for college football. I'm not going to really talk about professional because, again, it's the Cowboys bye week, and I don't really want to talk about it. So yeah, that's this video. Next week, join us for Longhorns Vanderbilt, which is a scary game, And Cowboys 49ers. Oh god, we're gonna get our butt kicked. But yeah, look forward to that, and be sure to like, subscribe, and until next time, bye.